Now we're going to talk about wall fixings and wall plugs that go in a variety of surfaces inside your house. So the first one we're going to talk about is a general picture hanging set. It's got a variety of hooks in there, some string to go on the back of the pictures, some assorted nails. So we're going to go over to a wall now. We're going to give you a small demonstration and then we're going to fire one in. So this is the wall I'm going to put the picture up. It's only a small picture, as seen. It's already got the string on the back. I've checked the wall, so it's safe to proceed for pipes, wires, any woodwork or metalwork in there. I've got my picture hook and it has a nail that goes inside it. You can see it has a small angle already. It's already set, so when it's hanging, the nail is at an angle, it gives it extra strength. So that's the cross where I want the nail to be. So we're going to line it up. It's just above it. You've got to be very careful with your fingers on this. And some gentle taps. Make sure it's in the right place, which it is. Double check. Tap it in gently. Get the string on the back. Put it on the hook. And there you have a picture hung. Now you can adjust the string so you can't see the hook if you prefer, or you can have it so you can see the hook. It depends what wall you're dealing with and how you want it, personal preferences. Hi, so now we're talking about plasterboard fixings. This particular type just screws straight into your plasterboard. Here I've got a mock-up plasterboard wall. So what we're going to do, really quickly, you're going to find out exactly where you want it to be. You'll make your mark, you'll scan the wall, you'll check. I know there's nothing behind there because I've made this, but you'll check everything. You just put it where you want it to be and you're just going to screw into the plaster. All the way in. It's nice and tight. And with that being in, what you can do, if you were to hang a slightly heavy picture or something like that. So we've got the screw. I'm using the ratchet screwdriver. I've put the correct end in, which is the positive drive for this screw. It does say on the back of the packet what you need. And you just screw that straight in. And that will quite easily hold a slightly heavy picture. It does say on the packet it's weight rated 8 kilos of down force. So you can see at the back what's happened is to screw through the plaster. It's got very wide threads, so it grips quite well. So moving on, we've got plastic versions where you drill a hole first and pop that in. That's just like a general plastic wall plug. This type is a bit different. When this goes in, it spreads out like a star. So what we're going to do, we're going to drill a hole, we'll put this in and I'll show you what it looks like from the back. So you've looked where you want it to go, you've marked the hole, you're just going to drill straight through. If you've got a vacuum, back it out, that makes a big difference. That goes straight in. Try and give it a gentle tap, not too hard. And then what's special about this is, when you wind it, I'll just swap my screwdriver end. Just put a larger end on which fits the screw as specified. When you wind it in, what happens is it's gripping the back of it and it starts to flare it out like a star. So what we can see now, you can see it flaring out now at the back. And you see it's going to grip a slightly wider area of the plasterboard. Thought I'll do this demonstration because it's easy enough going to a shop, buying fixings, they tell you how they work, but sometimes it's nice to see what happens inside the wall. You can get a special gun which you squeeze in and out, which will pull it backwards. I like to use a screw and just very carefully, slowly and gently just wind it in Now I can feel it getting tight, so it's gone tight, so I've stopped. I'm not going to force it, so I'm going to turn it back round. And you can take your screw all the way out, and then you can apply what you're putting on there. If you're putting some shelves on, you'll put your shelf bracket over the top. You'll have the pre-drilled holes, I would imagine. If not, you can drill them. Then you can put that screw through. As you can see from the back, you can see what it's done. It's quite a strong fixing, is that? It can take quite a bit of a beating. So I'm just going to wind it back in again. There we go. I'll leave that one in there for now. We're going to move on to this type here, the toggle bolt. This goes inside the wall and basically it springs back out. So I'll demonstrate on that. For this one, I'll also show you one of the ideas I use. As you can see, we've got a mess going on here, so this will help prevent it. So onto this type, it's the big flat head drill. Very sharp are these, so be very careful. So I've measured, I've scanned, I know where I want it to be. So you stick it on this very carefully, drilling in. So as I showed before, it makes a lot of mess. So I've got an old takeaway tub here. I just stick it underneath. So as I'm drilling carefully now, just a little idea I use. It just catches a lot of the dust, as we can see. Saves a bit of cleaning up. So, and this design basically just pushes in and it comes out the other side. So I'll turn this round so we can see. I'll show you that again. Once these are in the wall, you can't get them back out yourself. So squeeze it together, and as you push it through, it opens out. And then as you will tighten the screw, you will see it keeps these flared out. But an issue with these is that will come straight through. So you'd have a washer on there, you'd have your shelf bracket on there, which would obviously cover that because it would be a big piece of wood coming down, and that would just be a small, going through the wood into a small hole. So it will pull back, and as you can see, it gives quite a strong fixing there. That gives a strong fixing. That's a smaller one. So we're pretty much going up in weight on what we can hold. This one's my favourite. So this type here is called grip it. Same again, you drill in a large hole with the flat head bit. You get the appropriate size, the numbers are on, and they just flare out inside basically. Two wings come out. I don't like these in particular. They're a very good idea, but it's just my personal preference. I don't use them. Another very simple fixing to use is just a screw straight into your wall, but obviously with plaster it's not going to work very well. I'll just show you that. So let's say we're just going to hang a picture and you want it to be lazy and cut a corner and put a screw straight in. So it goes into the plaster. But let's be honest, I don't want to hang a picture on that. If you put a picture on there, there's a risk it's going to come straight down. Whereas the various different fixings we've got, that's a lot stronger. If I force it, it will come out. I had to give that a bit of force. This particular type is a lot stronger. It's almost wanting to rip the plasterboard out. With this type, I put it on the back here. You can see, because it covers such a wide area, it doesn't want to come through. It's a lot harder. I've got to really force it to try and get it out. It'll be similar with the toggle one. You'd have to put a lot of force to get it out. So it depends what weight you're using as to what fixing, but putting a screw straight in is never always the best idea. But if you've scanned the wall and you've found in dry walls and false walls, you've got a wooden batten behind it, you can screw straight through into that. And that changes everything. So, quick demonstration on that. We'll go straight into the plasterboard again, but behind it is the wooden batten. that'll give it a lot more strength and integrity. Hanging a picture, if you can find the wooden batting accurately. As you can see, it's a lot different if you want to come out, because it's inside there. That's a big difference if you can find that.